Hey YouTube, it's Kate again with another analysis hot off the press. This week, I'll be exploring the dark, eerie setting of Playdead's 2D platform puzzle Inside, and addressing some of the unsettling themes that come out of the woodwork the further you progress into the game. Just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with, Inside takes place in what is either an alternate universe or a post-apocalyptic future where large hordes of people are rounded up, experimented upon, and eventually turned into mind-controlled slaves meant for physical labor. The player character, a nameless, faceless young boy, appears to be attempting to escape the facility where the slaves are made and making a bid for freedom. Other than the scientists who run the facility, he is the only one there who still appears to be fully human, at least at the start of the game. Early on, just a few minutes into the game, your character is navigating his way through an abandoned farmhouse when you find yourself accompanied by a cluster of baby chickens who follow you as if you're their new mother. They are, as chicks tend to be, painfully cute, and your natural instinct as a player is to protect them. However, all that changes quickly the moment you realize that in order to progress any further in the game, you're going to have to use them in a way that could very easily result in their deaths. Now, at this point, I feel it's important for me to say that one of my favorite things to do is finish a game and immediately watch other people play it to see if their reactions were at all similar to mine. Much like myself, nearly every person I've seen play was genuinely distraught at the thought of bringing harm to these chicks. Some people have gone so far as to spend a good 10 to 15 minutes trying to find another way around this obstacle, only to be relieved when they discover all but one of the chicks survived the ordeal. Making your way into the next area of the game, it becomes clear that the chicks were serving as a sort of tutorial for the mechanics of mind control when you take control of 4 of the human slaves to do the heavy lifting a small child simply isn't capable of. The reactions I've seen to this are somewhat mixed. Some people reacted with disgust, others with amusement, and some with a bit of both. This mechanic comes into play several times throughout the game, each time seemingly designed to desensitize the player to the moral grayness of their actions. Further illustrating this point is that the characters at the facility bring their children along to see the process, suggesting that it's not only the player they want to desensitize. What I find most fascinating, however, is the difference in the reactions between the treatment of the chickens and the slaves. While most people were genuinely concerned about the well-being of the chicks, very few people I've seen play were even remotely as bothered by using the slaves, even when putting them in peril. While they ran in circles around the farm in a desperate bid to save the chicks, most didn't think twice about pushing these men off 50-foot drops, usually only stopping to cringe at the sound of their bodies hitting the floor. Not only had the scientists succeeded in making the slaves appear almost inhuman, the developers of the game had succeeded in getting the player to view them as subhuman. As a Canadian, I find myself reminded of the ongoing debate over the highly controversial seal hunt, in which so many city dwellers have prioritized the well-being of a cute, fuzzy animal over that of the Inuit people, who have virtually no other food source due to isolation, supply, and demand. When the going rate for a slab of beef is $55, one can hardly blame them for hunting in their own backyard. This prioritization is a disturbing trend in the West, where marginalized groups are less valued than the very food they've been hunting for thousands of years. Whether or not it was the developer's intention to point out this human failing, it plays out so often in real life that it says a great deal about our collective psyche. At the end of the day, Inside is a game about personal freedom and those who you're willing to step over to achieve such a goal. For those of you who have been searching for a game that speaks volumes about humanity without a word of dialogue, or if you just like creepy games with disturbing visuals, look no further. Until next time, keep on gamin', and be sure to check out my girlfriend and best friend's shared Let's Play channel Side Quests if you haven't already. In the meantime, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill.